Hi, you're with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bukaya. Let's take a look at how markets are doing this afternoon. Bring up those screens for you. Just a minor downtick right now on both the Sensex and Nifty. 19,704 for the Nifty. And Sensex also looking at 66,490 or around about just now. We've had a fantastic last week with all kinds of record highs and continued inflows. So things have been looking good of late. Are we really going to be looking at some kind of profit booking, or will this momentum sustain? Mustafa Naimner joining us now on the show. Mustafa, let me get your perspective first on the index itself. Good afternoon. How are things looking and how excited are you about maybe 100,000 or higher?
Yeah, I think we are just about to reach the new high. And this short which we are seeing, the red which we are seeing, I think this is should be considered as buy on dip by the investors. 19,650 is the level. I think from there again, buying momentum would continue to the level of 19,850, 950, and eventually 20,000. So yes, the market is just looking for some news, like the Fed news is there on Wednesday. So market may be looking for the direction on the interest rate and the inflation. But overall, I think the positivity would continue, and the buy on dip strategy should be there in the market for the target of 19,850 and 950.
Okay, great. So continuing to buy on dips and looking forward to those new levels. Mustafa, then what would you be buying right now? You know, because clearly in some cases valuations may be stretched, or in some cases the risk may be higher. What would you say is a safe bet at a time like this?
I think we have some clear pockets like the financial services and the PSU bank. They are showing the great results. We have seen the results of Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. So they are clearly on a buy zone. And I think I've been continuously bullish in Bank of Baroda from 160 level, and 220 to 230 is the level which we can see going forward in Bank of Baroda. In the private banking space, ICICI Bank has posted a robust result, and I think in ICICI Bank also the bullishness would continue. Although we are seeing some kind of profit booking today, a small profit booking, but the level of 1,050 we should see in a short term in ICICI Bank. So the banking space is looking very good. Like if you see the Utkarsh Small Finance Bank, it has been listed on Friday, and the kind of the momentum it has seen, the bullish momentum it has seen, I still think it would continue, and we can soon see level of 60, 65 in Utkarsh SFB also. So overall, the financial services, HDFC Life is a good pick from a level of 671. So I think the financial services and the banking space is the pocket which investors should look for.
Absolutely. Were you surprised at the kind of robustness we're seeing across these banking earnings? What are some of the factors you feel have led to that?
The credit growth which we have seen, and the improvement in net interest margin. So overall, if you see the balance sheet of the bank, they've improved a lot. Drastically, improvement has been seen, and overall, going forward, also the credit, the spending which would be there in the Indian market. So that would also create a good market for the credit growth for banks. So I think this is the reason for bullishness of in the financial services in the banking space.
Sure. Well, it's an earnings heavy week. We're also counting down to Reliance Industries. What are you anticipating there? How much of a market moving event do you think it's going to be?
See, although the earnings were had tad disappointed, but overall, if you see the Reliance Retail and the Reliance Jio, those are very strong. That would be very strong for Reliance balance sheet, and although the Jio would be in a different company, but I think Reliance would soon see a level of 2610, 2650, and the bullishness would continue because overall the books are very strong, the market strong, and the Reliance Retail and Reliance Jio would drive the growth for Reliance going forward.
Okay, fair enough. That's on Reliance. But how much of an upside do you still feel there is on an RIL?
RIL, yes. as I've said, the target seems of 2620, 2650 in RIL. So the bullishness would continue, and this bearishness should be bought into for the short term gains.
All right. Let's also take a look at ITC. That's the other newsmaker today. We knew the demerger was coming. They finally announced it. How much of value unlocking do you see here for shareholders?
See, it would be very good, like the hiving off for hotel business. This would be good for that because uh, it would be more strategic to raise funds for the hotel business. And overall, I think the shareholders would generate value in the longer term because the hospitality industry is showing a great boost in India. And going forward, since it is hived off, that entity would be also creating value for the investors. The 60/40 ratio is decided. So I think in ITC we should see level of 520. Although there would be some bearishness till the level of 463, but that should be bought into, and for the longer term we may see target of 520 in ITC.
All right, so that's the call on ITC, down about 4% today. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the broader market plays as well. I know you mentioned financials, even an AU Small Finance, Canfin Home, some of these names as well are seeing a bit of buzz coming in today. Among other themes, what else would you be tracking from the broader markets?
Uh, the another stock on my radar is Hero MotoCorp. It also seems bullish, and we may see a return of 5 to 7% going forward in Hero MotoCorp. So that is another pick for the day, and we may soon see level of 3,600 going forward, and more than that in Hero MotoCorp. So that should be on investors' radar.
Okay, so that's on Hero. Are you bullish specifically on Hero, or do you feel that that perhaps we are going to see better performance on auto overall, or would you specifically stick to a Hero?
See, auto overall is also looking good because the kind of, again, the spending which has been happening in the revival of rural sector in India, and the spending we are seeing, so it would be reflected in the auto sector as well. So overall it is bullish, but yes, if you ask me the levels, Hero MotoCorp is on my radar for return of 5 to 10% from the current level.
All right, let's taking a look at what else is moving today. A little bit of an uptick in pharma and yes, auto on an otherwise sort of tepid day at the moment, with markets having constantly hitting those highs. Banks, of course, are in focus. AU Small is down about 3.5 post earnings, but has very much been in the news on the back of those results. ITC spinning off its hotels business as was expected. It's also the number one consumer stock right now, dethroning HUL. IDBI Bank profits up 62%. We've got a whole host of other names. Power stocks, REC, NHPC, PowerFin are all moving, in today's session as well. 5-6% that too. Do you have a view there, Nadeem? Because we have been seeing that resurgence when it comes to the power space over the last few weeks.
Yes, overall, this move is supported by the numbers which have been posted by the power finance companies and the power companies. So, yes, the current move is led by the strong numbers, and I think this bullishness would continue in the power space as well. Overall, like what we have been seeing is the market, the 20% upside which we have seen in the last 1 year. There were many sectors pockets which are left out, so now they are performing and taking markets to the high level. So again, power sector is one of those pocket which is helping the market.
Okay, so that's on the power stocks as well. Just taking a look at all the other stocks that perhaps have been a little bit in the news today on earnings or otherwise. Just pulling up a few of the financials, of course. Reliance we're still watching out for. NBFCs are in the news on the back of all that buzz that we're seeing in the BFSI space. We've got a buy call coming from CLSA on IGL, on Paytm, from Citi. On we've got a equal weighting coming in from MS on Kotak Mahindra Bank, and a perform rating coming in from Bernstein on Kotak Mahindra as well. So that's on a couple of those banking names there. Paytm, let me get your take on that post earnings, Mustafa. And, well, you know, are you excited about it at all, or do you still feel a bit apprehensive when it comes to some of these names?
No, Paytm again, although the market is disappointed by the results, but I think overall, if you look at their credit growth and the books, I think in the next quarter they would be cash it. So I think the level of 1,010 we should see in the Paytm stock in the long run. So those who are looking for short-term gains should wait, but for the longer-term players, we should see level of 1,010 coming in Paytm. So nothing to worry from today's fall, and those who are looking for long term, they can buy in the today in Paytm.
All right. And what's your view on a Kotak Mahindra? Because I'd love to get your comment on that one as well.
Yeah. Kotak Mahindra Bank, again there was on the results side, yes, they are disappointed, and but I think there are other good stocks which we can look into the private sector. So ICICI Bank should be focused instead of Kotak. So I would be hold strategy should be followed in the Kotak, and no fresh position should be taken.
Okay. Are you also staying away from any other pockets of the market, metals, for example?
Metals, yes. The return which we have seen in metals is quite dull for some time now. So
Okay.
there are again some good pockets which we can see. So IT and metals are the pockets which we should hold for some time, and look for the financial services sector where we can get good opportunities.
All right, so that's the view coming in on metals. And any of the other earnings that you're keeping an eye on, what's on your radar?
Aarti Drug is one of the stock which is looking good on charts and also earning wise. Their profit has increased. The product basket is very good. So I think the bullishness which we are seeing today would continue, and we can see the level of 650, 680 in Aarti Drug soon.
All right, we'll leave it there this afternoon. Mustafa, thanks so much for joining us and taking us through your picks and strategies. Great chatting with you.
Same.
Market steady in trade, no major cuts, but definitely taking a little bit of a breather as they continue their march to all-time highs. Earnings continue to be in focus. Thanks for watching.